Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, today I want to talk a little bit about a new software package that I saw on It's FOSS. And so I downloaded it as the Flatpak version on a Linux Mint test build that I have in my VMs. And we're going to have a look at it. So what this guy is going to do is it's going to be a desktop translator. This uses a couple of different translation engines. There's the Google engine if you want something that's definitely probably a little bit better, more close to accurate. And it uses Libre Translate if you want something that is completely more pure open source. And just to note, Google is going to be the default, so make sure you are aware of that. So heading first on over to the news release over here. So what we see here is it's a very simple application. It looks like they're previewing it on, I don't know, I said it Ubuntu or Zorin, I don't know, something looks like Zorin with the rounded corners there. It's, looks very good on Linux Mint as well. There's a few issues I found with it here, but you can choose what your input language is, what your output language is. You can change the two directions. You can paste information into your input language. You can copy the translation out. You can clear it, and then you can also hit the button to listen to the text-to-speech for that particular input there, or output, actually, either one of them. So this is available as a Flatpak. Also, it's available in the Arch user repository and in the repositories of Fedora. So if you are in need of a translator, go ahead and use that. There are a few different options that we have inside of your preferences. We can choose our translator. We can set whether to enable text-to-speech. We can do live translation, although they do give us a warning that that could flag your IP address as abusive. So be careful about that. And there's a few other options that we have that you can see. Now, to download this, they have it's available on FlatHub, so you can download it directly from there. And if you head on over to their GitHub page, they will have more information. I want the GitHub page, not the FlatHub page. So over here, you can also get it Fedora 33 and later, just DNF install Dialect. Here's building requirements. And you also have it available in Arch in the AUR, and they have a stable version, just Dialect and Dialect-Git for the latest Git revisions. So with that, let's go ahead and have a brief look at how it works, and then I would like you guys who are bilingual listening to this, play around with it, and let me know in the comments how well it works, because I'm one of these kind of geeky guys that while I've studied some individual languages on my own time, I've actually never taken any. Haha. So don't ask me what type of luck conspired that I managed to get out of every single language requirement in all of my education, up to 20 years of it, but it happened. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the desktop now. So over here on Linux Mint, we're just going to go ahead and boot up Dialect. And this is the Flatpak version, as I said, and when you get in here, it defaults to auto, so you can just go ahead and just type in here, vote for Pedro. Why not? So over here, once you have your text in here, make sure your language is selected. You have a variety, literally just tons of different languages in here. So you have a lot of different options. You can even do fun things like Latin and stuff like that. That's kind of fun. But over here, hit the translate button, and now we have the options over here. You can hit the button over here for text-to-speech.
Vote for Pedro.
Or the one over here on the translation.
Vota por Pedro.
So you guys will also have to let me know how well does that translate to your individual languages. Over here, you can clear out the board. You can paste in some text that you might have done from something else. And then you can copy out the text that you have from up here, and in other words, to paste it back into your various documents. Come down here and just choose your different languages. Let's see, for example, out of morbid curiosity, vote for Pedro as votum pro Pedro in Latin. Here's your Greek. There you go. And so you have a variety of different options that you have there. I think French is the default language there. Now, coming in down here, we do have the option to show your pronunciation. I actually did not play around with that. I actually did not even notice that until I was just recording just now. So, yeah, I'm not seeing that that's actually doing anything. Let's look at some other options. Now, inside of your preferences, we have a dark mode toggle. This does not seem to do anything, at least here on Linux Mint. This might be dependent on your GTK versions and other factors inside of your operating system. Do you have auto toggle switches or not? Linux Mint I don't believe does, and so my guess is that if I were to change this to a dark mode, it would probably toggle with the system. But in my case here, in my test case, the dark mode does not work as a separate item. Here's the live translation with the warning that your IP address may be banned, so be careful with that. You can do the translation shortcut for line breaks. Default auto. So this is going to be your input language there. Are you selecting what it is, or are you just going to let the program itself attempt to determine what the language is? And then down here is the translator, so you can choose the Google Translator or the Libre Translate. I do notice when you change it to the Libre Translate, it will crash, but when you get this guy booted back up, then it actually will still be there. So changing it back to Google Translate, I did not see it crash, but we'll see what happens. So that is a little bug with the system here. Go ahead and get back into there. And then here is your translator instance. Specify your URL of the translation service. So you can go in here and you could add some different instances in here if you're doing something custom. And then you can use Google for text-to-speech functionality or not. So if you do that, then you'll see that the text-to-speech functionality disappears. So hopefully down the road they might have a way to have text-to-speech without using the Google services, but if that's something that is important to you, you can go ahead and use it. So overall, the application itself, it is actually giving us a lot of nice, good options here. It gives us a good balance between what we know is going to work a little bit better with Google Translator and with the free Libre options. You have the option to enable or disable the text-to-speech. Basically, you can strip all the Google stuff out if you want to, or you can go ahead and use that if reliability is more important to you than remaining in the pure FOSS mode. So with that, there is Dialect. You can download it on a variety of different distributions, anywhere that supports Flatpaks. You can grab it over there as well. Have a look at it, and particularly you guys who are bilingual watching this, let me know how well you think that it is translating in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.